Sometimes cameras capture what we're not meant to see, from ghostly figures in burning buildings to transparent shapes drifting across farms, from cryptids stalking through forests to tragic plane crashes. Tonight, we're exploring 9 unexplained and disturbing moments caught on camera. These aren't special effects or movie scenes, they're real recordings that defy explanation. Turn down the lights and prepare yourself, because what you're about to witness will challenge everything you believe. Number 9. We commence in a tranquil rural area where firefighters were securely burning down an aged structure. A TikTok content creator began documenting the fire, however, subsequently something peculiar appeared in the recording.
No, better not be.
Graham and Lowe better be out there. We're out. Oh, I'm out. Yeah, hey, Graham and Autumn, y'all get out.
A shadowy, human-formed figure shifted rapidly through one of the chambers filled with flames. If you observe carefully, it races across the burning area and vanishes in moments. What was that?
Yeah, hey, Graham and Autumn, y'all get out.
Certain individuals believe this could be a spirit or apparition that was expelled by the fire. Others state it's merely smoke, collapsing timber, or our brain attempting to recognize shapes in random phenomena. The fire appears frightening, but this shifting figure is what genuinely captures focus. It's astonishing how distinct the shadow appears. Structures like this frequently possess a lengthy history abundant with accounts. This location might have contained secrets nobody understood about. Could it be that these regulated burns occasionally expose peculiar phenomena we normally can't observe? Or perhaps our minds simply desire to discover human forms in chaotic scenes? One element that renders this more intriguing is the fire crew. They consistently verify that the structure is vacant before initiating the burn. Nobody should be within walking around. Perhaps it's merely an illusion of light and darkness, but honestly, it seems like something more unsettling is transpiring here.
Yeah, hey, Graham and Autumn, y'all get out.
Number 8. February 6, 2025, something peculiar traversed across a tranquil, secluded farm in El Salvador. The recording originates from a Twitter account named TruthPoll. It was documented from a security camera on the property, one that typically monitors vacant fields, livestock, and quietness. However, that evening the camera documented something else, something it wasn't intended to observe. In the grainy monochrome recording, a faint translucent form shifts gradually across the display. It doesn't ambulate like an individual. It doesn't levitate like vapor. It merely drifts. The form is elevated, almost human, but the body is hollow, like it's only partially there. And it's not merely the form that transmits chills. The farm's canines, typically composed, commence to panic. Their barking is piercing, frantic. They pace in rotations, their bodies rigid, their ears secured in the orientation of the invisible menace. It's as though they observe something we cannot. The canines don't cease even when the figure disappears. Certain viewers believe animals are receptive to phenomena humans can't detect. Phenomena beyond sound, beyond vision, perhaps even beyond logic. If that's accurate, what did these canines observe? Nobody has emerged with a solid response. There's no unmistakable evidence of a deception, no continuation, no admission, merely a tranquil farm, a flickering shadow, and animals who comprehended something was incorrect. And now we're remaining with an inquiry we may never resolve. What genuinely traversed across that farm, and why were the canines the solitary ones who comprehended it was there? Number 7. This subsequent piece of recording has left numerous individuals disturbed and perplexed. It's a trail camera captured tranquil, motionless, and secluded, documented deep in the forest by an individual who desired answers. The caption states, "Woodsman captures a bizarre figure on camera," but what precisely was documented, that remains uncertain. The individual who established the trail camera did so for a purpose. Throughout the duration of several evenings, he had uncovered multiple coyotes on his property, all of them deceased and mutilated, not merely attacked but torn apart in a manner that seemed calculated, intentional. He understood something was out there, something that wasn't conducting itself like a normal predator. Therefore, he positioned a trail camera in the identical region, hidden, observing, anticipating. And one evening, it documented something. A figure, obscure but distinct enough to generate alarm. The uploader presented the footage with a single inquiry: Skinwalker. That was all, no clarifications. Merely raw, disturbing recording of something shifting through the obscurity. What's documented is peculiar. It doesn't ambulate, it shifts in bounds. Its form is challenging to define, almost somewhat like it's transforming. Not quite human, not quite animal. Its limbs flex in unnatural ways. One commenter stated, "That's super odd moving and for once doesn't appear like CGI." Another merely designated it a skinwalker, but not everyone concurs. Some proposed it was merely a kangaroo or even an ostrich, creatures not indigenous to the region but conceivable in theory. Still, the motion seems incorrect, excessively smooth, excessively fluid, like something pretending to be something else. The manner it passes through the frame, silent, rapid, undisturbed, seems less like wildlife and more like a warning. Even the uploader admits, "I don't understand what this entity is." Could this genuinely be a cryptid, something supernatural? Or is it merely a peculiar coincidence documented by chance? The truth is we may never comprehend. But whatever was out there, it had already terminated, and this might have been the solitary occasion it permitted us to observe. What's your consideration? Number 6. On January 31st, 2025, a doorbell camera in northeast Philadelphia documented something absolutely devastating. A Learjet 55 air ambulance transporting 6 individuals on board, including a pediatric patient and her mother, was merely minutes away from landing at the northeast Philadelphia airport. However, tragically, it never succeeded.
Yeah, man, she's still alive.
The aircraft is observed plunging from the atmosphere before exploding on contact near the Roosevelt Mall. A massive fireball illuminates the darkness only a few miles short of the runway. Sadly, there were no survivors. All 7 people aboard, the crew, medical personnel, young patient, and mother, forfeited their lives instantly. Additionally, 1 individual on the ground perished in the crash. The flight had been transporting the child and mother to Missouri after she received treatment in Philadelphia. This recording is the shocking instance ever documented on the doorbell camera. Number 5. Accounts of the dogman have circulated for years, sightings dispersed across remote forests, shadowy highways, and tranquil farmlands. However, in recent months, these sightings had become quiet, almost like whatever was out there had entered concealment, until now. A novel image has materialized, peculiar, distorted. The photograph is overexposed and grainy, almost damaged, but not beyond identification. According to the post, this image originated from a motion-activated trail camera mounted low, proximate to the surface. Not a recording, merely a single still, frozen in time. And what it documented has generated fear and fascination. The precise location was never disclosed, the time also unknown. All we comprehend is that it originated from deep within the forest, the variety of location where cellular service terminates and silence becomes overwhelming. In the background, faint shadows propose something else, a light origin. Likely from a motion-activated floodlight, perhaps someone's backyard, perhaps someone's final evening of tranquility. Now imagine that examining your camera the subsequent morning and observing this. The creature in the image appears unnaturally muscular with thick, sinewy arms and a broad torso. Its posture is tense, like it's prepared to lunge. The light captures its face. 2 luminous eyes, circular and sharp, secured directly at the lens. Its teeth long, curved, animalistic, but its expression almost human. And that's what renders it worse. The dogman may appear like a contemporary legend, but creatures like this have haunted human accounts for thousands of years. In ancient Greece and Rome, they spoke of cynocephaly, dogmen who resided at the periphery of the world. In medieval Europe, they transformed into werewolves. In Native American legends, they were shapeshifters, skinwalkers, spirits with the power to become wolves. The creature in this photograph seems like something extracted straight from those ancient fears. Some cryptozoologists propose this could be a flesh and blood species concealing in the deep forest, circumventing civilization. Others believe it's something else entirely, something not intended to be discovered, something that exposes itself only when it selects. Of course, the skeptics are already communicating. Some assert the image is digitally modified, others state it's AI produced. But if that's accurate, why does it seem so genuine? Why does it appear like something we've consistently feared, something our ancestors described long before we possessed cameras to document it? Therefore, now the inquiry remains. Is this merely another internet deception? Or did someone genuinely capture a glimpse of the dogman, observing, anticipating, just beyond the periphery of the vegetation? Number 4. This subsequent footage is genuinely unsettling. It was presented online by a property owner who asserted that after nearly 10 minutes of attempting to penetrate into their residence, the intruder executed something that renders this recording even more peculiar. Instead of departing, the individual suddenly rings the doorbell and commences generating peculiar humming acoustics on the porch. He doesn't communicate sense, doesn't demand anything, he merely stands there. The property owner clarified that this all transpired while they remained secured within, anticipating law enforcement to arrive. Thankfully, nobody was injured, however, it still abandons you with inquiries. Was this merely a desperate thief, or was there something else transpiring in his consciousness that evening? Number 3. Early 2023, a disturbing piece of recording was uploaded to the Reddit thread Terrifying as F. It was documented on a Ring doorbell camera from a proximate residence. Examine this. In the footage, you can distinctly detect a woman screaming. She's exclaiming for assistance, but the recording never displays where the screams are genuinely originating from. Following investigating further, I couldn't discover any supplementary context about this case. No identities, no accounts, nothing, which renders it all the more unsettling, because proceeding off those screams independently, whatever transpired that evening, it wasn't favourable. Was this a neighbour in peril, or something even more shadowy? Share your considerations down below. Not frightened yet? Number 2. In early 2022, in the middle of the darkness, a doorbell camera documented something straight out of a horror production. An elderly woman can be observed standing motionless before the door, grasping a knife. She stares down at it repeatedly, almost as though she's confused or disoriented. At occasions, it even appears like she doesn't completely comprehend where she is. The recording rapidly dispersed across Reddit, where numerous individuals proposed this was most probably a case of dementia. They indicated how her body language demonstrates confusion instead of intent. Still, others weren't so certain, cautioning that you can never completely comprehend what someone's genuine intentions are. Therefore, what do you consider? Was this merely a tragic accident or something considerably more intentional? Number 1. In 2021, an individual from Hertfordshire, England, documented something on his doorbell camera that abandoned him completely speechless. 43-year-old Matt Dowdy was at residence with his companion Kevin, viewing football on television, when he suddenly received a notification from his Ring doorbell camera. Initially, he anticipated it would merely be someone standing at his doorstep. However, when he replayed the recording, what he observed was something he couldn't clarify. Instead of an individual, 3 brilliant lights, perfectly arranged in a triangular formation, can be observed gradually shifting across the night atmosphere, completely silent. Matt subsequently clarified how disturbing the incident seemed. He stated it was silent. 3 lights originated from the atmosphere, and I considered, oh my goodness, that's quite proximate. I questioned if I'd uncovered something nobody comprehends anything about. When he displayed Kevin, his reaction was instant. Geez, that appears like a UFO. No distinct clarification was ever provided for what these lights were, but Matt insists it wasn't a drone. What's your consideration? Is it a UFO? I'm curious about your consideration.
Which clip disturbed you most? These real recordings prove our cameras capture more than we expect. Drop your thoughts below and share your theories. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more unexplained footage. Until next time, keep your cameras rolling.